Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makakadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach our nation this truth. And I also want to give honors to the brothers out there who's preaching this truth with sincerity and dignity. The Wadi Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for blessing me um, with another lesson. Um, I just want to come at you. When I say you, I mean the nation of Israel with another lesson. Um, and this lesson is going to be on the truth. Something simple, straight to the point. Um, and what I mean by that is the truth, the 100% truth that our elders and apostles of Great Millstone have been trying to teach to the nation of Israel for a very, very long time now. Me personally, I haven't been in the truth for very long. I've only been in the truth for about a year and some change. Um, and let's just say the least, like I'm sure with a lot of brothers, it's and this is the understatement. It's changed your life. It's changed your life. That's the only simplest way I could put it. But let me get into the scriptures so that way I can just prove the point. Um, this is the book of John, chapter 8, and I'm going to start at verse 31. Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him. When the Lord is talking about Jews, and I got this. So I learned all of my truth from the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and obviously the brothers who are under them. I've learned and gotten edified so much through them. Just something so little like this, like verse 31, I learned through them that the Jews, he was actually talking to the Israelites, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Um, and it talks about that in verse 33. But, anyways, let me get back to the point. Verse 31. Then then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. So basically, the Lord is stating, if you continue in his word, the scriptures, the work, um, then you're indeed his disciple, meaning you're one of him. But here's the point. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. I'm going to read it again. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So once you understand these words in this book, in the Bible, that's written only for the Israelites, which consists of the Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Americans, and all the rest of the people who are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Once you understand these words, it's going to make you free. It'll set you free, just like the scriptures say. And I'll use a more personal example that this applies to. So I'm going to go to the book of um, Deuteronomy. For you brothers out there who's woke, you already know where I'm going with this because I call this kind of like a oldie but goodie because, like I said, with the personal aspect, this is what woke me up. And this was the kind of like the seed that was planted that started the journey, and here I am a year and some change later. But here's Deuteronomy chapter 68. Salakia. Here's Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Egypt, um, if you want to break it down even further, Egypt means bondage, um, or for lack of a better term, what the Lord is talking about here is slavery. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and thou shalt be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. I'm going to read it again. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So here we can, if you have a spiritual eye, we can clearly see that the Lord is, he said he's going to bring us into Egypt. I just mentioned Egypt just means of a form of bondage, or for lack of better terms in this context, slavery, again with ships. See, the Lord, he said the word again with ships. Again. So have we been here before? And that kind of gives you the clue or the foundation on what the Lord is talking about when he said the word Egypt. Because right after Egypt, he said again with ships. So, how did the so called Negroes get to America? That pause is just for anybody who needs a little time to think. But if you didn't know, here's a little information. The so called Negroes, which is the tribe of Judah, they came to the Americas by the wave of slave ships. If you don't know that history or our history for you Israelites, look up the transatlantic slave trade. Salaki if I butchered that, but type into Google the transatlantic slave trade, and I guarantee you'll get a better understanding of what the Lord is talking about. Not what I'm saying, but what the Lord is talking about. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68 is talking about a prophecy of somebody going into slavery or bondage with ships. And all I'm doing is connecting the dots. What group of people did that? The so called Negroes. By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. That's talking about our homeland. And there shall be, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Who was selling us literally as people? On plantations, right after we got off the boat, the so-called white man, which is Esau, that the Bible describes him as. And the reason why I brought up this topic, so to speak, is because this is what helped me wake up. Was the seed that was planted to help me wake up, and this was it right here. And the reason why I brought this out, this verse, Deuteronomy 28 and 68, is because this is the truth. And like we just read in John chapter 8, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So growing up, even now, well, especially growing up, I used to always wonder to myself, why am I so poor? Why do we have to be poor? What I mean by we is like my mom, at the time, my sister, when I was in so-called college and I didn't have a lot of money. I used to say, man, why do I have to be so poor? I want to be like, I wanted to come up like any Jake would, like any Jake. Any Jake just wants to come up, take care of their family. And I used to wonder, why does our people have to be so low? Why are we in a low state? Why can't I make six figures? Why can't I, just the typical, things that you would think if you want to come up in life? And this is the honest truth that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai showed me through the apostles, that we are a slave at this particular time and moment. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and everybody else who's part of the 12 tribes of Israel, we are slaves. We are at the bottom. We are the gutter. We are the laughing stock of the world. Literally. Literally. Why do you think we are called niggas, wetbacks, spics, you name it? Every time a nigga, you niggas can't even get a fair shake when it comes to I was gonna say a job, but that's the norm. But you niggas can't get a fair shake when it just comes to just walking in the store. Are you not stereotyped? Let Are you not stereotyped if a so-called black man walks into a store and has a hoodie on? There's been multiple reports or cases of a black man being shot for no reason because of the way he looks. And the list goes on and on. And that's what the scriptures mean when it's talking about, and no man shall buy you. Let me get that. And this is just the last part of verse 68. And there you should be sold unto your enemies, Esau, for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Meaning no man will save you. Who's out here saving us? Nobody. When somebody, a so-called black man, Latino man, gets shot down or thrown into prison or jail for no reason, who's coming up to say, you know what, let me get real justice? This person's innocent. Absolutely nobody. The only people who is here for us at this particular time is the apostles, because they're the only ones who are telling us the truth. And what does the truth does? The truth sets you free. What does it set you free of? It sets you free of the chains that your mind is in, that your heart is in. See, your heart is your mind. And everybody thinks that, well, I don't want to say everybody, but for the most part, most Israelites, specifically two-thirds of our nation, a little bit more than half of our nation, 66 point, two-thirds of our nation don't know that they're Israelites. And that's a problem. Because at this particular time, if you're still calling yourself a so-called black man and you don't know that you're an Israelite, you're lost. If you're still eating pork, you're lost. If you're still thinking that this way of life is just the way to go, you need to rethink, and you need to definitely pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to show you the way. Because judgment is upon this nation, meaning America, Esau, and the other nations, and you don't want to get caught up with what's about to happen. What's about to happen? A lot of it is talked about in Revelation, and that's another lesson for itself. But for this particular lesson, our nation, our people must know the truth, because it'll set you free. It'll set your mind free of what this wicked world tells you. And I'll even go a little deeper. Look at what we would call today Instagram. Look at what we would call today social media. Is not everybody live a lie when it comes to that? And what I mean by everybody, I just mean the majority. The majority of the people live a lie. Whatever they post, that's pretty much not what they're living, or that's not their lifestyle. And you can see right through that. You can see right through this world once you know these scriptures. And that's something small, really, 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 really small, really, really, really small on the spectrum of things, on the grand scheme of things. But that definitely helps, because you see the people out here who we would say cooning. That's the right word for it. The sellouts. I could go on and on, but I just wanted to stick to the point. The truth shall make you free, and every single Israelite must know the truth in order to be saved. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, and hopefully this was edifying to the elect. Until next time, I want to say Shalom.